Hello.
Hi.
Guess where we are? Can you explain a little bit where we are and what are we doing here or what are you doing here?
We're in Berlin and we are here at a symposium at the KfW talking about the Berlin Conference of 1884-1885, which was essentially a conference that Germans, British, French, Portuguese, a lot of European powers came together to split Africa into what Africa is now, because Africa was not, the map was not what it is now, right? And so the reason why you have Ewes who are in Ghana and Ewes in Togo, you can actually link that up to the Berlin Conference. So we are here to talk about it and to discuss it and to see why something that happened in 1884 is still affecting us now in Ghana, in Togo, in the whole continent, in fact.
In this way, I would like to come back to the German place. We have a lot of diaspora. Many people from Ghana are living here, and they are voting the racist party in Germany. Why are they so stupid?
Yeah, I mean, usually the thing with immigration is that when people immigrate and they try to feel safe, and part of that safety often comes with identifying with a space that prevents more migration. But this is a problem because once an immigrant, always an immigrant. It doesn't matter if you suddenly have a German passport or you're speaking C2 German or fluent German. You once an immigrant, almost an immigrant. And so this means that once a party is racist, once a party is on the far right, and once a party does not believe that this is a space for immigrants, this is not a heterogeneous space, so they want one culture, one people who look a certain way. It doesn't matter how much you try to assimilate, it doesn't matter how much you try to be like them, in their minds you are actually never like them. And so I think it's very dicey to vote for parties that speak against immigrants because you are an immigrant. That's the truth. The truth is that once you immigrated here, whether you're first generation or second generation, you are almost always seen in that light. And so it's easier to identify with people who are like you than with others who don't see you as one of them.
The one guy also from Ghana, what a shame. He is supporting this party. He speaks fluent German. He is so proud to be, let me call it the colonial. Yeah? He is just there for this party to show the diversity, but they hate all of them, and he will be the first to be burnt when they get into power. So what kind of mentality is inside a person who is behaving like that? It seems like the colonial mentality is still working.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, with immigration, it's a lot about identifying with the people who are in the space that you have joined. And so following the party, following the rules, following the law of that space. But, Frantz Fanon talked about the double, why is it that you would be black but want to be white?
Yeah.
It's because colonization has, for centuries, made us believe in white superiority. So you believe that anything white is better, anything white is superior, anything white is the best. Nothing black is good, nothing black is important, nothing indigenous is great. And that is one of the problems of colonialism, because it didn't just affect people then, it's still affecting us now, even in the way we see ourselves, the way we see things all over the world. And so that is colonialism. We always come back to colonialism.
Yeah.
We always come back to racism, and that is the truth. That is what affects people and makes people believe that.
May I ask you, what are you doing here in Germany?
So I'm a postdoctoral researcher, which means that I finished my PhD, and then now I'm in the step after the PhD. So I'm doing research in literature and linguistics.
Do you feel yourself welcome in Germany as a well-educated person?
I'm funded by the German government, but I do believe that within the society, within the community, there are a lot of times where you don't feel very welcome, a lot of times where you do feel that this is not the space. People don't want you in the space. People don't want you in that space. And it's not always just physical physical threats. It's not always just racist words to you, but also sometimes even in the look that people give you, and sometimes in the way people sit next to you, the way people cross the street when you are walking next to them. And so there is that sense of not being totally welcome in this space where, but I do think that over the years it's been increasing. So there's of course, a lot of Europe, even the US, is moving towards the far right. So you get a lot of sentiments, negative sentiments against black people, immigrants, Muslims, for instance. And I think it's increasing, it's getting worse. The welcoming committee is not there anymore. It doesn't feel the way it used to, I would say.
So what can we blacks do to avoid black people voting this racist party?
Yeah, I think it always comes back to developing our own countries, because a lot of immigration is because people are not feeling safe in their own countries. People are not feeling like there's a future for them. So young people don't think that they can get a good job, so they want to move. And so for me, it would always come back to Kwame Nkrumah's, we need to develop our countries, we need to develop our space, we need to be on equal footing. And we cannot be on equal footing without people, without having the economy to back that up. And I think that as young people, it's very important that we try as much as possible to contribute to the development of our countries. And for some people, this means sending back home, but for other people, it means going back after school to work in those spaces. So whichever way we can. And protesting, we talked about protesting, organizing, and making sure that we are in good spaces. The other thing I think is just speaking to the people around you and making sure that people are not making bad choices, because sometimes, unfortunately, people make bad choices. And sometimes shaming people also helps. So that's the thing.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm so proud to meet my brilliant to-know sister here in KfW office, and it's one of the biggest bank in Germany, who was also part of the colonial instrument.
Yeah.
We don't want to say it loud, but tomorrow will be a nice day, and I'm preparing a lot of questions to face them.
Perfect.
If you dare, as a foreigner, and vote AfD, don't call me again. If you are my husband, I'm going to suck you out of my bed, because I will never give HIV a chance. And AfD is a disease called HIV. It kills. Don't vote. Mwah. Vicky for you. And Nikki also.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Vicky and Nikki, yeah.